Yesterday I saw Regretting You, the Colleen Hoover book, based on the Colleen Hoover book, starring Allison Williams, Dave Franco, McKenna Grace, and Mason Thames. This is about Allison Williams. She plays a mother whose husband and sister die in a car accident, and all the while, and then it's about her and Dave Franco, who's her sister's uh, boyfriend. So the two of them in figuring out what's going on with the husband and the sister, why they were spending their time together, and then all the while, Allison Williams' daughter is dating the local bad boy, who, believe it or not, has a heart of gold. And this movie I'd only heard about this movie because people saying how terrible it was. So that kind of intrigues me. Movies that are laughably bad are a good time, I think. They're definitely better than a movie like Colleen Hoover. I kind of, or at least whenever I think about it, I think I talk about Colleen Hoover like she's the director of all these movies, but I know she just wrote the books. The last Colleen Hoover movie, I'm going to call them movies. I'm going to talk about them like she's a director. The last Colleen Hoover movie, It Ends With Us, was terrible, and I feel like people actually thought it was like a real thing. People thought it was like an actually good story, and it's god awful. It's at best god awful, and at worst, it's just offensively terrible. And so, for this movie, the fact that it just kind of looked like a teenager garbage chick flick, that's fine to me. Movies like that, they are necessary. I feel it feels lame calling all movies like, oh, this movie's necessary. But movie like It Ends With Us is not necessary. Movie like Regretting You is a good time and is necessary. No, I don't want to give it too much credit. It's probably the worst. I don't want to say this too many times, but it might be the worst written movie of the year, or at least I've seen all year. There's just it feels like every single line of dialogue is used to set up something that's going to happen 20 minutes later. Like, the movie opens with a flashback in 2007, and they're really just trying to hammer it with a nail into your head that, yep, it's 2007. Like, oh, this new track by the Killers, can it be the song of the summer? And it's just also, and they got Dave Franco, aged down. I say I don't like air quotes, but I think I do them every time. Aged down, but he's just got, his hair brushed down into bangs. And he's got his terrible glasses. And every time they talk about Dave Franco, they mention those glasses that he wears, 5 times. Allison Williams says at one point, she's like, God, you were so mysterious back then with your glasses. Does Colleen Hoover not know people with glasses? I know she didn't write the movie, but I feel like they took a good amount of dialogue just from the book. Does she not actually know people with glasses? Does she just watch, movies for 12-year-olds where she's like, oh my God, look at that. Look at them with their glasses. Look at how misunderstood and strange they are. Maybe she struck a chord because I have glasses, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's so many lines of dialogue where it's the daughter's like, if I don't get it, my mom still thinks I'm going to state. And if I don't, you're going to kill me. You can't come up with a fake school. You can't do MSU or BSU or I don't know, CU or UC. It's state, really? Really? Yeah, I don't know how many different ways I can say it's terrible. It's poorly. I don't even know how poorly directed it is. I feel like it's all just poorly written. So that's why I feel like all the blood is on Colleen Hoover's hands. And there's so much blatant product placement. There's 4 or 5 or 6 different times where there's a Pepsi product right in the middle of the frame with the logo staring right at you. It's just so. I guess that goes into the poorly made part. It's just so annoying. It's very. There's so much. It's very amateur. It's very amateur hour. It's a guy who's made The Fault in Our Stars as a director. He's had a long enough career. He's had enough success, but just feels like probably every single shot took 2 takes, and they kind of set everything up. They're like, all right, ready, rolling, action. And it's yep, we're done with that. It probably took a week and a half to film the whole movie. Everyone was just kind of hanging out. Everyone was just drinking wine on set. Good for them. They had a good time, but like I said, terribly made, terribly written, all sorts of bad things going on with it. But, like I said at the start, it is a good time. Like, movies like this are fairly necessary. Like, bad movies are bad movies. There's going to be all sorts of different types of terrible movies throughout the year. But these types of terrible movies are fine, I think. I think that a movie like, I'm just going to go back to It Ends With Us, is a movie that thinks it's something, but it isn't at all. Like, it's terrible. And that's not a fun movie. I think calling a movie offensive is lame. But It Ends With Us is a pretty offensive movie, at least as far as like from a viewing perspective. And then like the last terrible movie I saw, being Wicked. Like, that's a movie, it's terrible. It's no fun. It's not a necessary movie. But a movie like Regretting You, just a dumb teenage chick flick, like, just turn off your brain for, I wish it would have been an hour and 40 minutes, not 2 hours. Well, we can work on that later. But just turn off your brain, get a popcorn, not. I mean, it's in the name, folks. But and just watch the dumb movie and just have a good time. And the main reason you do have a good time is, I think, because the actors all know what they're doing. Outside of maybe James Franco, who I think thought that this might have been his Oscar moment. But that kind of, I think, adds to the fun of the movies. The fact that he plays every single line, every single scene, just so dead serious. Like Allison Williams, I think she's the best part. Allison Williams of Girls fame, and I think she's the best part of Girls, and she's easily the best part of this movie. Like, she's having a good time with it. She's playing this crazy, overprotective mom, and then also this like she's just kind of unhinged most of the time, like a good amount of the time, and she's having a good time doing it. You can kind of tell, and it's ridiculous, but I think she clearly knows. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but I feel like she knows this is a terrible movie, and she puts into it what she should, and it works. It ends up being a fun performance, I'll say. And the two, I guess I'll call them kids, even though the actors, I'm sure, are adults, but they play 17-year-olds. The kid love story, they're pretty good too. Like, they actually have some nice chemistry between the two of them as well. The Mason Thames, Mason Thames, whatever it is. He's from The Black Phone, and that's another movie where he's really not given much to do. He's not given a lot, but it's just like, hey, just be cool for this movie. And he's 2 for 2 this year. He's just can play the cool guy. And I think he's like 19 years old, and I don't know how exactly far that can go, but hey, good for you, man. They do this dumb thing with this character where they have him eating lollipops the whole time. Not the whole time, but like probably 4 or 5 different times. And I feel like that's just a clear like fill in for a cigarette. Like, they can't have like a 17, 18-year-old smoking cigarettes the whole movie, just because, I don't know, they don't do that in movies anymore because it's like gross or something. But I mean, it's obviously cooler. And every single time, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, every single time that like he's mentioned to the parents are talking about him, like Dave Franco and Allison Williams, it's like, oh my God, you're spending time with I think his name is Miller Adams. You're like, oh my God, you're Miller Adams, that bad boy. And Franco, who's a teacher at the school, he's like, hey, come on, he's actually a good kid. He's got a heart of gold. I think I definitely said that already, but he's like, oh, come on, he's just misunderstood. And you know what? He really is. There's it's a pretty terrible performance. I don't want to nitpick just like the 7th or 8th person in the cast. It's a terrible character, terrible performance. The daughter's friend, she's always at these family dinners. It felt worth mentioning just because she annoyed me enough, not even in a fun way. Where, like, why is this daughter's friend at all these dinners? All she ever does is like say like, she just kind of brushes off the parents. She's disrespectful to the parents. Nobody laughs at her jokes. She just kind of gets the daughter and shit. She's just annoying the whole time. She's just a huge see you a week from Thursday. I feel like that's kind of crossing a line saying that one. Even though, I mean, what line am I afraid of crossing? We're not afraid of crossing lines here, folks. I don't have much else to say. I mean, yeah, I think I've hit everything that I had written down. Oh, the scene where, like I said, the husband and the sister die in a car crash. The scene before they die, like the whole movie up from this, like right before they die, their last scene, up to when they find out they die. It's just absolutely hilarious. Like the husband saying stuff to the daughter, like the dad saying stuff to his daughter. He's like, "Oh, well, you'll always have me around. I'll see you later. I love you," like that kind of stuff. And just like everything's just like, oh wow, like I wonder if you're gonna die in like about 2.5 minutes. And the daughter, I'm not sure if I've given this away. I don't know if it's really not giving anything away. The husband and the sister, they were having an affair. Allison Williams' husband and sister. Yeah, I definitely said that. And they actually die. They literally die while the daughter's texting the sister, like her aunt. And she's like, the sister, she's talking about how the bad boy's got a girlfriend. Obviously, he's the coolest guy in school. And the sister's like, come on, you don't want to be the other woman. And you, like, just trust me, you don't want to be the other woman. And the daughter's like, wait, you have to tell me. And then she, like, stops answering the text. It's just, like, it's cheesy. And honestly, stuff like that, it's like why a movie like this kind of works for what it is. Because if you're going to be cheesy, just be cheesy at every waking second of the entire runtime. From minute 1 to minute, like literally it felt like 178, but I think it was 120. It's just all cheese the entire time. And I think that's where these Colleen Hoover adaptations need to stay. I'll never read, and I never have read any of her books, because I mean, I don't know, I'm a man. Sometimes you just gotta be a man, and you just gotta say it. Men should not be reading Colleen Hoover. So I don't know how many books she has, like Remembering You as opposed to It Ends With Us. But if all of them, if they're more like It Ends With Us, which made money, it made like 90 million. It won't make 100. It Ends With Us was big, but in my opinion, if it sticks to movies like Regretting You and not movies that are so far up its own rear end, they're trying to say something when they're just like not saying anything at all, like It Ends With Us, and they can just be dumb and know it instead of dumb and trying to be smart, then these Colleen Hoover movies have made a valuable ally in me. If not, and they're more like It Ends With Us, then I'll have to seriously consider taking her down. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. There's really not much about this movie. Allison Williams is good in it. Allison Williams is great, just in general. The Kid from the Black Phone's cool. Dave Franco, 2 movies in like 3 weeks, where he might be the biggest loser in both movies. He might be the worst performance of the lead cast in both of them. Rough year, buddy. And again, I think I said it in the night you see me. I just don't really like him. Yeah, don't bother watching this movie. I mean, unless you want to watch a dumb chick flick, but yeah.